Hello, welcome to FM Corner. It's Tuesday, so that means another episode of one of your favorite shows, FM Corner. Hi, I'm Danny Koontz, Director of Relationship Management for WCE, and today we're going to speak about part two about care and accountability when it comes to your team. Last week we spoke about that showing care and also holding people accountable are not exclusive of each other. To be an effective leader, you have to do a little bit of both. And it always depends on the situation and what's going on and timing. But you show care in many different ways, but you have to show care for your team. And at the same time, you have to hold them accountable for the decisions that they've made and work with them and teach them if mistakes have been made so that in the future, you have a better chance of success. We're going to talk about the balance of showing care and holding people accountable. It's behaviors that can cause a risk to this. And that is when you blame others for mistakes that you have some accountability in, or you allow your team to blame others. It's just as bad when you do it, but it's also bad when you let your team get away with it, with blaming someone else when they didn't do something they should have. So you have to call that out and you have to speak to it. And it's okay, as I've said before, everybody makes mistakes. That's okay. That's not the issue. The issue is learning from it so that you do better the next time and work together. The second item is you always make excuses. It's either for you use that dreaded phrase, I'm too busy. I've been busy. Everybody's busy. Everybody that's working in your company is busy. Own what mistakes that you make and hold others accountable. Don't make excuses for other people, especially if you don't know the situation. If something just happens and someone speaks to you about it and wants to talk about a problem that went wrong or whatever, as soon as they mention a person that might be involved in this issue of what happened, your first reaction is, well, I'm sure they didn't know what was going on, or they didn't get all the information, or they haven't had time to figure. You don't know all that. Don't say it. Figure it out and then talk about it. But don't just immediately jump to offering a conclusion of why somebody didn't do something if you don't know. It's not good. It's not positive for your team. Third part, covering up your mistakes, not sharing important details. Maybe there were two things that happened in this particular case. One wasn't good, but something else was really good. Spend time talking about what really worked, and then spend time talking about what didn't work and why the next time. You do not gain respect of your team and others when the only thing you're going to focus on is what went right. We're not going to talk about what went wrong. We're just going to talk about what went right. That's not correct. You want people to learn. Yes, it's great to be excited about things that went right, but you also have to deal with the issue of what went wrong and how do you correct that in the future so that the next time something happens, it's all positive and there is no negative. That's a great conversation, but don't dismiss it. You have to talk about it. Don't cover it up. And the last part is taking credit when it's not due to you. If someone else helps you or is critical in making something happen, you call it out for them. Not for you, but for them. Same for you, same for your team. Don't accept credit for things that you didn't do. Make sure that other person or other people that are involved that help gets a shout out and a call out. That's critically important in building respect and trust. It's important to build trust with your team. If you don't have trust, everyone's going to be going, he just told me this, but what did he really mean? You don't want that to be part of the conversation. This is what he said. I've always trusted him. He's been right or not right necessarily, but he's always told me the truth. And there's no reason for me not to believe this is the truth as well. And I will move forward with it. You want to build that trust with your team so they are accepting of what it is that you're speaking about to them, not wondering if you're giving them the real deal or something else. That just destroys time, and over also over time destroys relationships at the same time. They need to know that you genuinely care about them as a person, and that when you are speaking to them about mistakes or anything like that that's happened or things that weren't handled correctly, maybe with another teammate or something like that, you're working on that to make them better. You're working on sharing information that will give them better opportunities, better options the next time they run across this particular problem. So you're showing your care, but you're showing your care in lessons and how to handle something a different way that might be beneficial for both parties. That's showing that you care. That's also what accountability is. It is talking to people about decisions that were made or actions that we're taking and how could it be better as they go forward, because you want them to be better. That's what accountability is. Tough feedback. That's hard. It's hard for a lot of people to do. But if you do it and it's factual and you are working towards a better solution moving forward, and it has just a dose in there of care, they're understanding why you're having this conversation, because I expect so much from you. There's a reason you're on my team. I've said that before. A little bit of care, but also speak about the accountability and what you're looking for. They may not like it at the time, but over time, they'll be fine with it. I didn't like those conversations either when I was on the other side of them. But, part of me was saying, okay, I need to listen to this, and it's something that will help me. And then I need to get out of the office here and I need to go get this fixed. So I understand what we're doing. There's a lesson for me to learn, but then I'm moving forward. I need to get out of here and go get it done and get it taken care of. That's the attitude you need to have. Accountability is more than one thing. Are you clear as a leader with your message that you're speaking to? Again, don't do that where you start out with, it's okay, I know you're really busy. Don't start that way. Start with, hey, we made a mistake. We got to get it figured out. I need your help. I need to understand the parameters of what happened, and then let me try to offer suggestions or see what I can do to assist that will make us better as we go forward. Part of this is on me. I probably didn't do a good job having you ready for the situation that happened. That's my issue. I need to fix that. And I'll work with you as a teammate on. That's a much better conversation. You're holding them accountable, but by the same token, you're also, some of that accountability falls back to you. Maybe you weren't clear in what you were asking them to do or giving them instruction. And that caused part of the problem. Then own that and help them with it as you go forward. They have to understand what accountability truly means. Do they understand it? Do they accept it? I said last week, when something happens that somebody takes accountability and handles something really well, make sure everybody knows it so that they truly understand what accountability is. 5 items that I want to leave you with. Caring for people that you work with and with you is a positive trait. You want to care about those team members that are part of your team. Expect them to own their own decisions and their outcomes. Address when mistakes are happening or have happened, and speak about in the future how to be better prepared. But explain to them what you're looking for. It's because I value your work. I want to make you great. I want to help you with that. And there's a reason I chose you. Let's work together. Let me help you. Number 2, build acceptance. Speak of positive behaviors that drive accountability so people understand them. Understand the risk that comes sometimes with decision making. It's all part of it. The better you sit down and talk and explain, the better your team's going to be when those situations happen. 3rd, awareness. Be aware of the words always that you speak. Try to seek to understand, not seek to have an answer when they stop talking, but seek to understand, where is that other person coming from? It could be a person that works on your team. It could be a peer you work with, but try to understand, why does another person feel the way that they do? And talk about it. It's making sure people are talking, not holding back. Holding back doesn't do any good. People want to talk. People want to give opinions. listen and speak about it. If you drive someone silent because you're always jumping in, or you don't want to hear what they say, or you have identified them as a certain person where they complain all the time, you're not going to hear. And at some point, they're just going to shut it down and they're not going to talk about it. And that's not good for you. It's not good for your team. It's not good for your company. When people go silent, you do not want that. Number 4, openness. Tell people what they need to hear, not necessarily what they want to hear. Don't shy away from that. Correct accountability that is lacking. Hold all people to the same standard. Talk to them about why it's important and why you're having these conversations. And then 5th, engagement. Be support structure for your team. Be there. Not an approval arena for excuses to happen, but a help. You're in a help situation regarding decisions, regarding lessons learned, or how to make something right that went wrong to begin with. That's part of your job. That's why you're there. And you need to be an open door for that, to talk to people about those situations and so on, especially when they come to you because they're seeking help. That's part of your job. Give them assistance, give them someone to listen to, not to help make excuses, but to work together to become better. The balance of caring and holding people accountable are not two different styles. It takes both. And there are similarities in both. It just doesn't seem that way, but there truly is. And you need both of those to make it work. Show both in your actions, your words, and how you work every single day. It will rub off on your team. That's our episode for today. Thank you so much for listening. Look forward to speaking to you again next week. Thank you.